Hello, good people. Here we are on the 2nd of September at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Getting ready to do a 1960D roll. These are always exciting because there's a lot of different RPMs to be found here. Let's see. Well, I've got my chat open, but nobody seems to be saying anything. Okay. So I'll go ahead and get started. We'll just watch this together. Let's see. And I'm going to go ahead and start opening the roll. Hey, Mac, Bob, Surag. Good day, gentlemen. And Robert Wookich. Hope I pronounced that right. Tim? The big one. I hope we have the big one in here. That'd be something else. Obviously, I've never seen the coins inside this roll, so I have no idea exactly what's in here. This is a roll reveal. Roll reveal are coins that are purchased prior to the opening of the roll. When I open the roll and go through the roll, we discover what's inside. And whatever is inside is whatever you get based on who purchased the spots in the roll at random draw. And the first coin in the roll will go to Mr. Bob Hampton. So here we go. Well, let's see. This first one is overexposed. So hang on a second while I get my stuff down to whack so that I can actually see what I'm looking at here. There we go. Okay, I don't have an RPM here. So we move on and look at the eye, and I've got a little bit of circular. This is a crimping machine damage on this coin here. This is because this was at the end of the roll. We've got no hub doubling going on. A double die hub doubling, same thing. Hello, Ted, Malcolm. Okay, and with all the other 1960D rolls that we check, this one we're going to be looking at the first 10 coins on the reverse side to see what's there. After the first 10 coins, we won't be looking at the reverses anymore because we generally don't expect to see any hub doubling on the reverses. No double dies known for the reverse of 1960D, so we're just going to keep moving and keep prodding along. Alright, coin number 2. Coin number 2, now we're going to be going to Deanne. Let's see what Deanne got. Right here for coin number 2. Well, we do have what appears to be a minor RPM, I think. And perhaps not. Yeah, it is an RPM. It's a small one, but an RPM nonetheless. Let me bring this back up, bring it into focus. We'll take a look at the markers on this one. We've got a number of die scratches, southwest and northeast. Check the eye real quick to see if there's any doubling there, and there's not. Nothing in the motto, and nothing on Liberty. There's a ton of RPMs to be discovered on 1960D. Not much of anything else. So basically when you're looking at 1960D, you're going to be looking for anything doubled on the mint mark itself. Everything else you're not necessarily expecting to see much. Here's coin number 3 for Yo Man. Coin number 3 for Yo Man brings us, yeah, it appears to be nothing. Wow, what a spotty coin. Yeah. I hope the rest of the roll doesn't turn out to be like this. It's got Larry's fingerprints all over it. take a look at the reverse on this one real quickly. Let me zoom out a little bit so that we can see a little bit more detail at once. Okay, got nothing going on in the reverse on this one. So we're going to pocket this one and move on. Now coin number 4. Coin number 4 is going to go to Marshall, Mr. Marshall. And no variety there. Let's check the eye. Nothing on the eye. And no doubling in the motto or on Liberty. There's another fingerprint. And it seems like this roll is going to turn out to be not as great as I would hope. And no doubling on the reverse. Robert, I appreciate you stopping by, and I appreciate you saying something in the chat. Like to hear from newer people what you collect, what you hope to gain out of learning on this channel. I do the best I can to teach everybody something. I like to have that lesson per day type learning. Looking around here for double dies, repunched mint marks. See what we can find. Plus any errors that might pop up. Cuds, die chips, die breaks, brockages, indents, anything major. Planchet clips. Here's Eric. Eric gets... Yeah, looks like we have another normal coin. Slightly spotty, too. We're going to have an auction this evening. Make sure you mark your calendar, set your phone, make an alarm, whatever it takes. This is going to be a landmark auction. I've got the list ready already. It's at coppercoins.com/auction. You'll notice that it's all rolls, and a lot of them are really nice. Oh, there's a RPM for you. A little minor one. Are really nice wheat rolls. BU mostly. I think that's an RPM. We're going to pull it out as one. That little thing sitting on the north edge of the mint mark appears to be something that was hubbed in like that, or actually punched in like that. That is not machine doubling or anything to that effect. So we're going to pull this out as an RPM. I do believe it is one. In fact, I think I remember seeing this one before. And although the coin does appear just a little spotty, it is, well, not just a little spotty. It's a little more than a little spotty. But it is an RPM. Well, let's see. We have a couple of minor RPMs so far. Nothing major. Ted Evans comes up next. This looks like it could be another example of the RPM we pulled with coin number 2. I'll have to check it, see if this matches. Be sure that I've got my markers set straight in my brain. Mr. Memory is working properly, hopefully. Okay, we got 2 die scratches, parallel coming up off the top of the 9. So let me do that, and let me go check coin number 2 again. This is coin number 2 again. Let's see. It does appear that we have the same die again. So, this one, coin number 8 for Ted Evans is going to match coin number 2. So that's going to be my RPM die number 1 for this roll. I already have a die 2 set. So we'll take a look, keep going through the roll, see what we can see. Let's see here. This appears to be yet another minor RPM. I'm going to set this aside because it does appear to be an RPM. It unfortunately is another fingerprinted coin. Let's check the reverse real quick and see what we come up with here. What I'm looking at here appears to be an original roll, but the original roll was not well cared for prior to wrapping it. Looks like somebody stirred these coins up with a bunch of chocolate all over their fingers. Larry? Hello, Mr. Thomas. Adam Connor comes up with the next coin. Not an RPM. Not a double die. Take a look at the reverse on this one. This will be the last one we check the reverse of because, well, 1960D just doesn't produce double die reverses that we know of, and there have been a lot of coins observed over the years. Hopefully people have been looking at the reverse on them, and the fact that we don't have any double die reverses is a telling sign. Should I lick it? See if it's chocolate. I don't know, chocolate from 1960. That goes back a way. I think what I'm going to do, though, is I'm probably going to do a free replacement roll for these next week. So I'm going to mark this down. And what we have going on here is going to be free. Free. And then we'll do a replacement roll. An ugly 68S roll. Oh, yuck. There's another one of our RPMs. So that's going to be another one of the RPMs. I'm going to go ahead and put it in a holder. This one's actually a pretty nice one, so Carl's going to get a toss me in on this one. Let's see, a 13 is going to be for Sissy. Looks like most of the roll is okay. It's just not really good, and I don't like the okay rolls. When we don't get decent RPMs and we get less than decent coins, and we're actually paying money for these, I don't like the idea of anyone looking at these and saying, "Heh, this wasn't worth that." Well, it'll be worth it if you get another chance. Flat out another chance on a 60D, so I'm going to find another 60D roll that we can open up together. There's a nice RPM. That's a really nice one right there. Really nice little repunchment mark for you. Let's see, let's find a good marker for this. Oh, we got some really strong die scratches coming straight out of the hair. Looks like his hair's on fire. That's right, we're going to call this the Hair is on Fire RPM. A little slightly stronger die scratch up between the 9 and 6 out into the field. So this one's going to be yet another die. This is going to go to Malcolm. So that's 4 now. 4 different RPMs I've seen in this roll. Although they're minor, they still do add up to equal that total of, what, 210, 215 different RPMs that we have for 1960 Denver now. It's quite a number. Pretty big one, actually. Well, at least you got something out of it, Eric, right? All right, this one doesn't have anything on it. Okay, moving on to number 16. This is Carl. And there's another one of them right there. You got your 9.6. This is what I'm talking about here. This big die scratch here coming up out of the middle of the 9.6, going straight up. And then we should have one different direction one right there sticking out of the front of the hair. Right there. And then we've got all the other ones on the top of the hair. Hair's on fire. Alright, so that one is going to go to Carl. Did Carl get both? No, Malcolm got the first one. Carl got the second one. Okay, now for Mr. McBride. Let's see if our State Fair guy gets any here. I don't see anything right now. Not on this one anyway. Interesting little struck through right there, I think. Got nothing on this one. Got a couple of double die obverses to watch for. Two of them show very well in the date. One of them is a small date over a large date with an RPM. That's another one of our ones with the parallel die scratches coming up out of the top of the 9. So that's going to be RPM 1 for this roll. It's actually turned out not to be such a bad roll. But we're still going to do one for free. Free. I'll have to get set up for it, schedule it, and everything else. But it's going to be a 314R, number 314 replacement. It'll come up next week. I'm already too busy with different reveals right now, plus an auction that I had not necessarily planned for. So I'm a little undertaken right now. So I'll get this done next week. But I will get it done. Unlike empty promises in the past, I'm apologetic for. I don't know why I'm looking at the reverse on this one, just because of a force of habit, I guess. Just pulled a 45S, a nice 45S from a roll. Very nice. We sold a 45S at the auction the other day. All right, this one from Mr. Marshall. And Mr. Marshall. Looks like Mr. Marshall gets a regular 1960D out of this particular spot. Let's keep taking a look here. Oop. Spot is right. Got a spot. All right. That's coin number 20. Now let's take a look at coin number 21. Thomas. Mr. Thomas gets one of our nice RPMs. This one is going to be another die number 4 for the roll. It's a pretty coin. I like this RPM. It's not all that wonderful, but it is kind of cute. Yeah, it's one of those ones that are definitely worth listing. When you see photos, the up close photos, it's going to look really nice. All right, Jeff Dunn. Hey, Mr. Marshall. I haven't licked a coin yet, but I'm going to send one of them to you, and you can lick it and tell me. There's another die number 1 for the roll. Die number 1 for the roll. You see, this is working out exactly like finding RPMs and listing them in the first place works out. You notice that the die number 4 for the roll that we've been picking out is much nicer than this die number 1 for the roll, but this was the first one we found. RPMs are not listed by how nice they are, meaning that die number 1 is going to be nicer than die number 3. RPMs are listed in the order that they are discovered, in the order that they are found or known. So 1960D RPM number 1 was discovered, found, prior to RPM number 2, prior to RPM number 3, prior to RPM number 4. So you'll know that having an RPM number 175, well, that was discovered before RPM number 200. And that's exactly how they go in the catalog, in the order in which they were discovered. It has nothing to do with how nice they look, how major they are, how pretty the coins look, or anything else. Now this is with regard to my listing system, the Wexler listing system, and the Kaneka listing system. With other systems, I'm not exactly sure how they were put together. That is something I'll probably end up doing, as a series of videos on the listing systems and how they came to be. There's another die number 4 for the roll. It's a really pretty one too. I'll zoom in on this one a little bit and take a closer look. That's a really nice RPM right there. And give us a little bit of exposure and gain to get a better picture. Look at that. See how the upright on the secondary tucks underneath the upright on the primary? So you've actually got a tilted RPM here, because down here this serif is on the top, but then it tucks underneath as you go up, and then this is the serif right here that belongs to this one. And then this serif is on the top, and it tucks underneath and becomes the one that's underneath here. So RPM mint mark number A, or letter A, the first mint mark, is on top up here and underneath here. And mint mark B, or the second mint mark, is underneath here and on top here. So because neither one of them is on top all the way, it's considered a tilted mint mark. Tilted mint mark. And so that is what tilted means. Tilted means that there is no primary. The two mint marks are intertangled. They're intertwined together. And there's not a primary and secondary mint mark. It's D over D tilted. And that's what that means. If you have a D that's completely on top of the other D, and they look like they have been twisted off of center with one another, that's called rotated. It's different from tilted. Rotated would be one totally on top, or rotated on top of the other one, in which case you have a direction, clockwise or counterclockwise. With tilted, you can't say it's clockwise or counterclockwise because, well, you can't tell which one is the first and which one is the second. So they're just tilted. Here is our next coin. Next coin is going to be a normal coin. This one's going to go to Mr. McBride. Coming to us from the fair. Wonder if Mr. McBride is doing well at the fair and he's wearing his sunscreen like he should. Keep him from getting burned in the face while he's selling raffle tickets. Here's Eric. Eric Beyer comes up next. And for Eric Beyer, we have, unfortunately, it's a normal coin. Going to have a special reveal. It's not going to be one of the scheduled reveals, but it's going to be a special reveal. It's going to be next week. I'm going to advertise it beginning tonight. It's going to be a special reveal because the date and mint mark is one which we generally never see. There's another RPM for you. This is RPM number 1 for this roll. And I tell that because we have these two parallel die scratches coming up off the top of the 9. This one and this one. They're nearly parallel with one another. And the mint mark is seen as doubling right here on the lower serif. Everything's going great, David. Like to have everybody know that we are having an auction this evening. This evening's auction I will be doing instead of Jessica. She had to cancel. She has some personal business to take care of. And we'll call that chopsticks, Mac. Chopsticks gives us die number 1. Okay. But I will be running the auction this evening here at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Here's die number 4 for the roll. Wow. I spoke really soon. We've got some decent coins, and everybody's getting nice ones. But it doesn't hurt me at all. We're going to do another one. Do another roll. Let everybody have a second chance at a major 1960D die discovery of sorts. Here's Adam Chambers. Adam Chambers is going to get... this one is die 1 for the roll again. Got the chopsticks, as Joe McBride says. Right here and right here are 2 die scratches coming up off the top of the 9 that we're watching for. David, the next time we're going to do reveals, it will not be, now this is important to note, everyone, it will not be this coming Tuesday. This coming Tuesday is when I do my VFW, Veterans of Foreign Wars meeting, and it is on Tuesday at 7 p.m., and I cannot make it back here in time to do... Oh, here's die number 2 again. That little pointy thing right on the top of the D right there. That's die number 2 for the roll. So next Tuesday will be my VFW meeting, but the next time that you'll be able to get on reveals will be the following Tuesday. The following Tuesday, it'll begin at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, just like all of my auctions begin at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So it will be, what is Tuesday the next one, the 10th? Something like that? No, it won't be the 10th. Here, let me just get in here and find out. Today's the 2nd. It's going to be on the 14th. Yep, the 14th is going to be the next auction. The 14th of September will be my next regular Tuesday auction. That's when I'll do the reveal sales. What did I say this was? Okay, this is an RPM 2 for the roll. All right, Ted E. comes up next. Ted Evans. Let's see what Ted has. I can see some spots on this one. This is an RPM 4 for the roll. And it does have some spots, though. It does have a few issues. So at least you're going to get a real RPM. But we'll make sure that we try to compensate for that in the next roll. Next one that we do. We have a roll coming up. Well, I had it scheduled for this evening, but I can't do it this evening. So it's going to be tomorrow. We're going to do the feature roll for this week. It will be a 1950D. 1950D. Those don't come up very often. But I can tell you the special reveal that we're going to do, the one that we're going to do as a feature show, is a roll that we generally never see. I tell you, it is an original, nice BU roll from before World War II. This one is another RPM 1 for the roll. There's the chopsticks above the 9. And this one goes to Lucy. Oh, heck, I'll just go ahead and tell you. I received a lot of 1938S rolls. They came together, and one of them had been opened. So I went through the coins to see what was there. And that roll contained not only RPM number 1, but also RPM number 3, and most of the coins in the roll were in a sparkling, fresh gem BU condition. Some of them worth grading. There's our RPM number 2 for the roll. These things, folks, are sick. We're talking about MS-67 quality coins popping out of this roll. And what I'm going to do is offer them to my people who show up at only $10 a coin. $10 per coin. I guarantee you, there's going to be some people make some really good cash out of that. At $10 a coin for the 38S, a 67 graded coin is a $200-$300 coin, and there are plenty of them in there. I guarantee that there's good ones in there. I was so set back when I opened that roll and looked at it. And I've got a few of these rolls, and the one I'm going to open has never been opened. It's been wrapped up and taped shut for many, many years. I'm going to untape it and open it right there at the reveal. It's going to be a feature show. I'll probably sell spots to it this evening and see if it doesn't sell out. If it doesn't sell out, then I will try to sell parts of it again through email and on Facebook. Make it a feature show. It'll be a max of 3 per person at $10 per coin. It'll be a 1938S roll. Beautiful coins. In fact, at the end of this reveal, if I get a little bit of time at the end of the reveal, I will grab a few of the coins from the roll that I did open because the paper was already busted. Basically what happened was it was a group lot of rolls that were purchased from a collector by a dealer. This is an RPM 1 for the roll, even though the mint mark's been smashed a little. I can see the chopsticks on the 9. So we have ourselves another RPM 1 for the roll. And it looked like the paper had been torn and the roll slightly busted open so the dealer could spill out a couple of the coins and show people the quality of the coins so they would be enticed to purchase. There's another RPM 1 for the roll. So when I received this batch of rolls, this particular roll was still in the paper, a couple of coins trying to spill out of the top of it, and it was stuck in a nickel tube. Kind of like exactly how it is right now. It's still in a nickel tube. Or maybe I took the wrapper away. I put it in a cent tube. This is RPM 4 for the roll. Nice RPM. Nice RPM, just not the best coin in the world. Do it early? What are we talking about? Do it early, son of a silversacker. I haven't seen you in a while. Why have I not seen you in a while? Are you just being really quiet on me? Or have you been busy? Yeah, I tell you what we'll do. As soon as I get finished with this reveal, we're almost done with it now. And we're running kind of early because I had a 60D roll, which means no reverses. And we'll be done here in just a few minutes after I finish checking the last of these coins. And I'll get that 38S roll out, and we'll take a look at some of the coins in the 38S roll as a preview. And then I'll do it again when we have the auction. Here's another RPM 4 for the roll. Another number 4 for the roll. There's my big die scratch coming out of the top of the 9.6. So the 9.6 right here. And we should have an off-putting hair. There it is. Our off-putting hair right there. It's off in a different direction. So that is an RPM number 4 for the roll. And this one goes to Mr. Joe McBride. Here's coin number 46. Yeah, I'm breaking out the big guns tonight. This evening we're going to have a nice auction. It's going to have a bunch of really high test items. 1948S BU roll. 1947 plain BU roll. 1946S BU roll. 1952S BU roll. A bunch of rolls from 1954 through 1958. All BU. Got circulated rolls, S mints from 1939, 1940. Here's another RPM. This one's different from the rest. Am I missing something? This is probably RPM 3 for the roll. Probably RPM number 3 for the roll, even though I don't remember exactly what that was. It's the only one I seem to have. I'll stick it with it, and I'll see if that's what it is, but I believe this is RPM 3 for the roll. Been doing a cartoon for a TV show. Bam. There's Bill. Says bin 3. I get it. Now, this is going to be your first taste of what a really nice 1938S roll can look like. These coins are primo. Primo, boys and girls, primo. Here's one for Bob, Mr. Bob H., Bob Hampton. And there is another number 4 right there. Another number 4 for the roll. We have been pulling RPMs and double dies out of rolls for 2 days now. We've had some dud rolls, but man, we've had some good ones. Tell you what. Yes, there is a nice DDR 1938S as well. There's actually a couple of different nice double die reverses in 1938S. And to be honest with you, I have not really checked them for it. I just kind of looked through the obverses of these coins real quick. This is a lamination peel right here. That's not damage on the coin. That is something that was wrong with the planchet prior to minting the coin, and it kind of fell apart during the minting. Such an interesting little thing going on with that. It's coin number 50. It doesn't have an RPM, but it is pretty nice lamb peel. That one's going to go to Mr. Fletcher. Okay, so let's do a recap real quick. We have a stack of normal coins, not really all that many of them. It's your first reveal RPM. That's awesome, man. Now you're going to be hooked. We got die number 1 for the roll. Belongs to coin number 41, 40, 34, 30, 28, 22, 18, 12, 8, and 2. Those coins belong to these people: Deanne, Ted, Carl, Jim Fletcher, Jeff Dunn, Farm Dog, Adam, Lucy, Jeff Dunn, and Eric. Jeff Dunn he's a RPM hog. He has a lot of RPMs here. Okay, RPM number 2 for the roll. 19, I see here's number 36, number 31, and number 7. There's 3 of them. They belong to Yeoman, Carl, and Malcolm. RPM 3 for the roll. I do believe there's 2 of them. We've got Chuck and Mike, and that's number 47 and number 9. And RPM 4, the nicest one for the roll, would be numbers 49, 42, 32, 29, 25, 21, 16, and 14. And those are for Malcolm, Carl, Thomas, Sissy, Jim Fletcher, Ted, Mike, and Bob. That's how the cookie crumbles on this one. Now let me get these out of the way, and I'll go get that 1938S roll that I promised. I'll be right back. I do believe this is it. Let's spit the coins out of it here real quick, and I'll pop a couple of them under the scope. This is 1938S. Check this out. Now, this doesn't do it. You see how nice and pristine this coin looks. It's absolutely beautiful. Let's flip it over and take a look at the reverse real quick. Have no idea what's on the reverse. I've not looked at any of these under a scope yet. I just noticed how absolutely stunning these coins are. Very high quality roll. Let's see. See if I can get my dyno to show up here. I think I do that with this little button right here. Yep. And where's my sock? Here it is. Look at this. Almost proof-like. Madness. I tell you, madness. This is a coin from a sister roll of the one that I'll be doing the reveal on. Got the rolls at the same time, so they're going to have the same quality. They're in the same kind of wrapper. Same date, same mint. Okay, this one's not one of the RPMs. I pulled out of this roll. Wouldn't it be? Let's take a look at another one. I'm just grabbing these in order. Look at that coin. I'm not getting the most cooperative focal point right now. Let's move these lights over so I get a good shine. There we go. How does that look, boys and girls? Beautiful, isn't it? This is the roll ender right here. That's the original roll ender. Let's check this one for an RPM real quick. See what. Okay, this one does not have an RPM. Okay. How about that? Would you pay $10 for that coin? I mean, seriously, would you pay $10 for that? Given that a 1938S, let's see, what's the values on 1938S? Going to Numismedia now. I'm going to pull up the price guide for modern Lincoln cents because they start at, the modern ones start at 1934. So here we go, a 1938S. Oh, here I need to bring up 66 and 67 grade. 1938S in 66 red is a $33.75 coin. $33.75. In MS67 red, they are $156.25. That's the value of coins like this in those grades. Ladies and gentlemen, as much as I'm sitting right here, I'm going to tell you this is probably an MS67 red coin. It has a very, very few flaws. And this is an average coin in this roll. Just another average coin in the roll. Here's another one. $10 a coin, folks. That's how much these are going to be. $10 a coin for a fresh roll that I've not looked in. See if this one is one of the RPMs. And those values, well, I tell you what. Subject to change, I tell you that. Okay, here we go. This is an RPM number 3 that comes out of this roll. That's the coin that we just looked at. Do you see this interesting little thing right here? That's RPM number 3. No, I don't have proxy bidders. You have to be there to get involved. This is going to be a special show. This coin is proof-like, folks. I mean, it's near proof-like. Look at the surfaces on this. Fresh as they come. Couple of little tiny fleck marks of spots. But man, that's not anywhere near enough to take this out of a 67 grade. This is a beautiful coin. RPM number 3 as well. That could be a condition census coin for RPM number 3. Here's another coin out of this roll. Here, let me put the other camera back on. Where is it? There it is. Okay, see, while this one is probably a 66 red, I'm going to call it one of the dogs of the roll because you can see some scratches on this one. So I'm not hiding anything, folks. This is a better than average early wheat, but it is definitely not one of the nicer coins of this roll. See what I'm saying? Not an RPM either. There's another one. Okay, that one's got a spot on the shoulder. At $10 a coin, folks, you can't miss. Even a 65 red. Let's check and see what 65 red is. Did I shut that down? Or I did shut it down already. Let me open a new window. And I'll bring up the Numismedia Guide again. And go look at the modern Lincolns. 38S in red. At MS65, it's a $26 coin. MS64 is still a $12 coin. MS63 is a $10 coin. At MS63 or better, you're getting your retail money's worth back out of every coin you purchase in this roll. And boys and girls, I can guarantee you these coins are better than 63. Without a doubt, these are better than 63. We're going to be doing these. I may open it up this evening. If nobody objects to that, I'll probably open it up at 8 this evening. I'm just going through all the coins in this roll. These things are just beautiful. Oop, that one's a little upside down. But you can still see, I mean, these coins are just as fresh as the day they were minted. They're beautiful. And they're extra shiny. They've got really nice eye appeal. Okay, this is one of the RPM number 1s that's coming out of this roll. Let's see. That. It's a late die state, late die state RPM number 1. What this is the upper loop of the S is here, and then the middle of the S is here. So there's actually an S curved into it right here, just like this. That is RPM number 1. And so I'm going to discontinue all of this right now. We found an RPM 3 and an RPM 1 in this roll. This is my roll here. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. I may grade half of these coins. Too nice to leave it sitting. I'll tell you that for sure. Coins are just absolutely beautiful. But anyhow, I think I'm going to put that up tonight. Here we go. Finally market cap 38S. All right, and that's all I've got for today, folks. That's all I've got for the time being. We will reconvene here. Well, hello, Alicia Snell. I didn't see you pop in. I was busy gawking at coins. Okay, so what is it? Almost 5 o'clock Eastern time. I'm going to go make dinner and get things together. And I will be back here at 8 o'clock on the stream for the Coin Night Live Auction. The CNLA number 90 will be this evening at 8 p.m. I'm going to put it up in Facebook and get us more attention perhaps and possibly. But we're going to have a lot of nice rolls tonight. Here's a very slight peek at some of them. A lot of wheat rolls. 1948S, 1952S, 1955D, 1955 plain, 1950 plain. This is tonight's auction right here. My little tray's been sitting on top of it. But there we go. I appreciate it, folks. Thank you guys for stopping in. Thank you guys for being here for this reveal. I apologize for the quality of the roll. However, it's really difficult to tell the quality of rolls that have not been opened prior to them being opened. But once I do open them, if I find that they're not the quality that I expect them to be, I do make up for it. So that's that. And I will see you guys at 8 p.m. at the auction right here. Thanks a lot.